Alrighty, welcome everybody to another Legacy Cube. So, let's get right into it, shall we? And good morning. I have no idea what time it is when you're watching it, but it's morning for me, so. Alright, we had a lot of luck with Rankle. We used him to pretty great effect to deny our opponent resources. The last time we drafted him, we got this sweet mono-black Grixis deck. And I'm kind of inclined to take him again just because I like him so much. Other than Rankle, there's Legion Warboss if we wanted to try and draft a fun policey aggro deck. Or a Maria Angel. A Maria Angel is very good in an aggressive mono-white style deck. We could try and do like a blue, maybe blue-red tempo, maybe? Yeah, nah, we're just gonna go Rankle. Okay. Now, we're looking at a number of good cards. Scalding Tarn is an excellent fetch land, though not necessarily when you've got Rankle of all creatures. Vampire Hexmage is the only black card in the pack. If we were going to pair black with a color, I think it'd have to be green or red. We could do blue. We could do like black-blue, attrition, control style thing. Man, could you imagine if we cast Rankle, then cast Sower, then made our opponent sack a creature and sacked our opponent's creature? That would be sweet. I was thinking like, oh, we'll take red and take burn spells and be aggressive and do cool things. And I'm like, nah, you know, this actually sounds really dirty. So we'll take Sower. Okay, Polluted Delta is the land for us. Kind of sad to have to pay, or to have to pass Teferi or Tamiyo, but I think Polluted Delta is just like better than City of Brass for us as well. When it comes around, hopefully Thing in the Ice or Tamiyo is still here. We'll see though. Alright, Pelucranos, Glacial Fortress, unfortunately not Drowned Catacomb. There is a Murderous Rider and a Riftwing Cloudskate. I think the pick is between Murderous Rider, Riftwing Cloudskate, and Opt. There are other powerful cantrips that we would rather have than Opt, I think. So I'm going to take Riftwing Cloudskate because 2 mana for a 2/2 haste that boomerangs a permanent is real, even if we have to wait for it. Alright, Shieldred, Phantasmal Image, and Thrawn Dynamo. Shieldred's kind of up there in mana cost. I think Phantasmal Image is great, especially if our opponent plays something huge with an enters the battlefield trigger. We can always take it. Okay, so there's Mass Manipulation, which I think if you cast it for X2, you win the game. It changes from gain control to just win the game, pretty sure. I don't think anyone's going to pick this card, unless they have an absurd amount of fixing. Which we're basically mono blue at this point, and we're hoping to splash black or be equal with black and blue. So I'm thinking we could take Fabled Passage. So we can take Fabled Passage, Impulse, Mass Manipulation, or Murderous Cut. I actually kind of like Impulse. I'm gonna take Impulse. Impulse technically is can be thought of as fixing. Shark Typhoon is effectively a flash creature, but if we ever hard cast it, we can turn all of our non-creature spells into flying sharks. So why wouldn't you do that? So I think I would like to pick up, start picking up some counterspells of some kind. I think that would be really nice. I don't think we're playing Bolas's Citadel in this deck. I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't speak to me. I'm not sure how to make this card work in this cube. So we're gonna take Augur of Bolas. We may or may not run Augur, depending. Okay, Terramander came all the way around, so we'll take Terramander. So we're looking to get Daze, Force of Will. I guess I take Hexmage. I don't really see us playing anything else in this pack. We maybe could play Flame Slash. If we might not be playing black. We might just be playing like blue-red. And I have to pick between Thing in the Ice or Mizium Mortars. Thing in the Ice is really powerful. I think I'm going to take Mizium Mortars, though. Having 4 damage burn spells that hit creatures is really good. Take Sword. We'll take Hissing Quagmire. Like I said, I'd like to be playing some kind of Dimir color deck, but if we just start getting past like bolts and hyper aggressive things, we can do like a tempo deck. And that's kind of what Terramander wants. That's sort of what Sower of Temptation wants, and Riftwing Cloudskate can be a huge tempo swing, so I mean, like, we'd end up with a pretty decent deck because of it. I guess I'd take Maze of Ith, and an All Is Dust, which we will never cast in this deck, almost guaranteed. Okay, well, we opened up a number of good burn spells in this list. or in this pack, as well as a Looter Eel Core. So if I wanted to play super safe and keep my colors open, I would almost certainly take Looter Eel Core or Mana Confluence. But I think Electrolyze is just way too strong to be passing. Yeah, I think unfortunately we've kind of maneuvered into a situation where we were going to be playing like blue-red tempo. This pack does not inspire confidence, and I'm kind of sad to pass a pack rat though. We'll take a Supreme Will. We're hoping for a Steam Vents or a Volcanic Island so that we can fetch it up with this Polluted Delta. Terramander counts instants and sorceries in the grave, yeah? Yeah, okay. Ooh, Daze. I want to take Ancestral Visions, but for an aggressive deck, Daze is so much better. Because, like, having a counterspell while tapping out for dudes in the early game is just crazy. I'm sad to say that we did not get enough cards to go blue-black, because Hymn to Turok, Liliana's Triumph are really fun, especially even with, like, Scarab God and stuff. So, Daze it is. Alright. Getting a lot of black cards now. I hope I don't have to go Grixis. That would be... I guess Careful Consideration is an instant speed draw spell. Chromatic Lantern is fixing. I just don't want to tap out for it. We could also take Hangerback Walker. Hangerback Walker, pretty reasonable as a creature, as far as a creature goes. I'm going to take Careful Consideration, though. Okay. There's a Badlands. Ooh, Remand. Remand and Search for Iskanta. I think I would actually splash black for Fallen Shinobi, because Fallen Shinobi is insane if it hits our opponent. Like, it just does crazy things. I think we gotta take the Remand, though, because Remand is going to be very strong in this deck. I mean, we've seen from a few of our Legacy Cube playthroughs, I haven't really drafted a deck that plays a lot of counterspells, mainly because I don't want to play a super heavy control deck with counterspells. I don't feel like it's that good, or even really that fun. But I think an aggressive tempo list with some counterspells, like good tempo counterspells, is going to be fantastic. So here, I think I'm going to take Torrential Gearhulk. We could take Deep Analysis, but Gearhulk is a gigantic flash creature, and that's what we like. So, one of the things I want to call out here, we're not getting a lot of red cards, and we're specifically not getting a lot of red cards because we did not take red cards. We were specifically trying to keep red open, and trying to take black cards instead. And so all of my opponents who were paying attention in this draft pod were like, oh, red's open, so they're going to pick red cards. Because we passed all of those signals. Collective Defiance, we can take. I don't know if I want a double red spell. It might be better to just take Simulacrum, because he is fixing. He draws a card if he dies. Like, he's fairly decent. Okay, Izzet Charm is very good. We will take an Izzet Charm. I'm kind of tempted to take Bombat Courier. Sorry, Baleful Strix. Walking Ballista, not really ever a bad card. So we'll take Walking Ballista. I don't think we can play Star of Extinction. Not in this one. We could take Engineered Explosives and potentially play 3 colors just to turn on Engineered Explosives as like a real removal spell. That does sound very good to me. I'm not too big on Revoker, so we'll take Explosives. So Dragon Skull came all the way around. I don't imagine Badlands would, though. I think that was in this pack. I guess out of these cards, we would be most likely to play Thrill with Possibility. Because even if we are splashing black, we can't splash double black for him. We don't have the fixing, because we didn't take Badlands, and we don't have other blue-black or black-red duels. I guess we could take Miloku. I don't like Miloku. Yeah. Mimic Vat could be fun, but I don't have a lot of experience with Mimic Vat. I'll take Karakas. I'll take Ingrass Rampage. And I guess I'm taking a Gatekeeper of Malakir. Alright. Here's hoping for Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt Burst Lightning is what we want to open. Then maybe a Snapcaster or something like that to round out this deck. Anger of the Gods is not bad. Bloodstained Mire is okay. Still no fetchable duel, though, which is a problem. Incinerate is a pretty good burn spell. I think I gotta take Control Magic, though. Control Magic is just so strong. Our mana is not going to be very hard, because we only have single red, so Control Magic it is. Ooh, okay. This is a little harder. So Fire and Ice, Lightning Strike, or Mana Leak. I wish I could take all 3 of those cards. Had we seen Bob a lot earlier, I would definitely take Bob and go black. But the deck is too out of whack now for that. We are going to need more burn spells for reach. I just don't want to pass Mana Leak. Fire and Ice is also very, very strong, because it does a lot of things. I think I have to take Lightning Strike. I don't want to pass Mana Leak, though. I'm going to take Mana Leak. We can take a Negate for the sideboard. No fixing for us in this pack. There's a Roast, which we could potentially take. We don't have a lot of creatures, which I'm just now noticing is kind of a problem. Is there anything I can do about that? I can take Ilharg. We could take Goblin Trenches and try and splash for it, which would let us play Karakas. If we do that, nah, I don't like that. I'm gonna take Negate and throw it on the side. Okay, Goblin Guide is decent. So is a Braid. Muldrifter kind of helps with the creature problem, as it's a draw spell that's also a creature. Goblin Guide is a little bit aggressive for what I want to be doing. Drawing my opponent lands is not where I want to be. I really would like to take Repeal or a Braid, but we'll take Muldrifter. Chain Lightning is kind of what I want to see. Oh, man. So Niv Mizzet's probably going to come around. I have no doubt about that. Bone Crusher Giant is... I don't want to say better than Chain Lightning, because Chain Lightning is a sorcery speed Lightning Bolt, and Lightning Bolt's pretty good. I'd like to take Chain Lightning because I want burn, but Bone Crusher Giant is a burn that also helps solve our creature problem, and I think because we're so low on creatures, I need to take Bone Crusher Giant. Lightning Helix, I wish I could take. We have no way to splash white, though, at all. Abbot of Carol Keep is a great creature for us, but we don't have a lot of 1-drops. So unless we had a land with it, we're probably not getting whatever card out of it. Fire Prophecy is excellent, but I think it goes in a slightly more controlling deck than us. I think we take Kira, because Kira is a way to protect all of our creatures, as well as we're, like, shore up the fact that we're kind of light on creatures in total. And I realize when I say we're light on creatures, I'm not counting things like Shark Typhoon, because I'm only looking at the creature count. But, oh, Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower and Wandering Fumarole. Figures the one time we get fixing is like the time we find the best card for our entire deck. So I'm going to take Brazen Borrower, pretty hands down there. We did not see any blue-red duels. Do we have a reason to generate Delve? Is there a reason to take Misty Rainforest, or should we take Murmuring Mystic? Murmuring Mystic is very strong. We have not seen any fetchable blue-red duels, and at this point I doubt we will. And we have no reason to shuffle our deck. It's not like we have Brainstorm or Jace. So I'm going to take Murmuring Mystic. Bloodstained Mire came all the way around, but so did Incinerate. And Incinerate is a card we need a lot more than Bloodstained Mire, unfortunately. Ooh, Fire and Ice. Nice. Dark Dwellers is not bad, but we don't have Ancestral Visions. Which is, if we did, I would definitely take this card. Okay, I guess out of all of these, take Volrath's Stronghold, Johnny, Clifftop Retreat. Yeah, I don't think we're playing any of them additional colors than what we have. Fire Prophecy is an excellent pickup. Kind of just needed more burn for a long time. Unfortunately, a lot of our burn cannot go to face. But having cheap burn spells as your removal is pretty decent. What's up, Nicol Bolas? Last pick Nicol Bolas. No respect. I mean, opening them in pack 3, unless you're already, like, the deck that I was the other day, which a lot of people wouldn't draft by itself. I totally understand not taking him, but I'm just being ornery. Okay, so we have 29 cards. We basically need to cut only non-creatures at this point, unless there's a creature that really sucks. And I don't think there is. So Shark Typhoon's technically a creature. It's also kind of hilarious if we ever resolve it as a 6-drop. Okay. I like our counterspells. I like Impulse. I like Supreme Will. Control Magic is too good to cut. Fire and Ice I think is too good to cut. I think I can get away with cutting Careful Consideration. I don't know that we'll ever be able to hold up 4 mana frequently, so I think I'm fine getting rid of that. So our burn spells are pretty decent. Thrill of Possibility, can be good. It's a way to draw cards at instant speed, just like pitching a land we don't need. So if I had to cut my worst spell, I think it actually is Thrill of Possibility. Because, like, Thrill of Possibility only draws cards, and we have things that draw cards while, like, burning creatures, have the mode of drawing cards, draws a card while it counters a spell temporarily, draws a card while it burns, draws a card while it taps. I actually think we're probably fine drawing cards there. If I had to cut my worst burn spell, I actually think it would have to be Fire Prophecy. Arguably Mizium Mortars, but like Mizium Mortars has the option of being a board wipe. I'm kind of sad we did not get Niv Mizzet, because I would have played Niv Mizzet in this one, but we needed that Bone Crusher Giant, I think is what I took over. I could cut Sad Robot, but we do kind of want to get to 6 mana, and Sad Robot is a ton of value, just not particularly aggressive. I think I have to cut Fire Prophecy. I don't want to, but it doesn't go to the face. It does draw cards, which is nice, especially in a deck like this, where you want to be getting as much value out of your cards as possible, but it also dictates that we have to pitch a card we don't want to the bottom of our deck. If this said discard a card, then draw a card, this card would be absolutely crazy balls, but it's not. I still need to cut a minimum of 2 cards, and it's getting very difficult. I always have problems trying to build a deck like this. So, Torrential Gearhulk, to a lesser extent Shark Typhoon, Murmuring Mystic, and Terramander say we need to be playing a lot of instants and sorceries. Maybe we cut Ballista? Like, Ballista is really good, but we're not making a lot of mana. And just casting like a 1/1 Ballista seems really anemic. Even if we play it as like a 2, if we play a 4 mana 2/2, and I know I'm saying this looking dead on to Solemn Simulacrum, and to a lesser extent Sower of Temptation, but Sower of Temptation is also mind control. I guess he's a way that we can go to the face and use our mana if we're not doing something else, so like he's pretty good. What the heck do I cut? I don't want to cut Supreme Will, because Supreme Will has been one of my pet cards since it's been printed. I love playing this in Battle of Wits, simply because it's very versatile. But I guess if we're trying to be tempo aggressive, we need to have cheaper spells. Like, Electrolyze is too good, and this is really a 2-mana spell. So, yeah. Okay, 25 cards. What is our worst spell in the deck? I think I would say Augur of Bolas, because he's very defensive. He's more of like a cantrippy control creature. But like, if we're trying to play tempo, we need something on the board early. And if we're like, we have at least a flash threat on 3, but like, I don't like him. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut Augur. So I've got a feeling that we needed like a Swift Spear in this deck. And I probably should have taken that Goblin Guide I saw, but alright. Let's do this. We are going to go 10 and 6. Because we do not need double blue until turn 4. Or 3. Well, but we have no way to fix our mana other than Impulse. We don't even have good cantrips. Like, we don't have a Ponder Preordain, and the only one we saw was an Opt. I'm going to do it. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 1. Alright. Round 1, here we go. This looks like a good hand. I will keep. We'll start Island Terramander. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain and Falcon Wrath Gorger. Okay, we untap and draw Bone Crusher Giant. So go to combat. Attack for 1. We're probably remanding something this turn. Could you imagine if this was, if Petty Theft wasn't disperse a thing opponent controls, if it was just disperse? How crazy this card would be. Because then you could like bounce your own thing to your hand and everything would be fine and dandy. Opponent's going to Chain Lightning our face? Okay. No, we will not pay double red. They're suspending a Rift Bolt. Okay. Do we unsummon the Gorger, or do we shoot it? Let's unsummon it. Untap. Draw Izzet Charm. Play a mountain. Go to combat. Attack for 1. I think we're going to be remanding the Rift Bolt, especially if it targets Terramander. Rift Bolt targeting our face. Yeah, let's remand it. Ooh, Daze is good. Daze actually lets us get some instants and sorceries into the grave. Okay, opponent replays Gorger, that's fine. Suspends Rift Bolt. Cool. We untap. We draw Solemn Simulacrum. I'll Flame Slash the Gorger. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Okay, Rift Bolt coming off of Suspend. Shoots our face. Yep, you got it. The fact that our opponent has done so much damage on only 2 mana has me worried. Abbot of Carol Keep. This potentially lets them have a land, and I don't think that's acceptable. I would just shoot it, but like, maybe we still have to shoot it? Because we'd need a 3 mana play for next turn unless we draw land for Sad Robot. Okay, this is risky, but we're gonna let him resolve this. No land. Land, of course. Alright. Shoot Abbot. Untap. We draw Walking Ballista. So go to combat. Attack for 1. Take your opponent to 16. Play Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, now we have a clock. A real clock. And with Daze back up too. Yep. That's getting dazed. Okay. So we draw Island. Play an island. How much does this ability cost now? 5? Okay. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Past the turn, we're going to leave up Izzet Charm. Anax Hardened in the Forge. And a Goblin Guide. Okay. Opponent attacks for 2. We reveal Kira Great Glass Spinner. Okay. Shoot Guide for 2. Opponent gets a 1/1. Okay. So we can either play Kira, Sad Robot, Walking Ballista, or Terramander. We can activate Terramander. I think we activate Terramander and get in with Terramander, because they're going to have a hard time answering this. Bone Crusher can stay back on defense. That would be at least a bolt not going at our face. So, yeah. Let's do it. They're tapped out. They can't respond. We'll have a 5/5 flyer. Go to combat. Hit him for 5. And then we can use Walking Ballista for damage if we have to. I don't think Embercleave is in this cube, right? He says, having horrible flashbacks to Standard, where he played Anax Embercleave. Ooh, the old 2-for-1. Opponent gets to scry. Sure. Okay, opponent passes, we untap and draw Island. So we are going to go to combat and attack with Bone Crusher Giant. If our opponent does not block, we just Ballista and kill them. Okay, they block. Opponent does not want to risk it. So we'll play an island. We'll play an island and a Sad Robot. Alright, I'm going to mute because Porter is throwing. No one wants to hear this. Alright, sorry about that, folks. The situation has been handled. Sorry to my opponent. We will now pass turn. Okay, opponent's going to attack for 2. We'll block 1. Thundermaw, Hellkite. They are going to keep Thundermaw back on defense. Have you ever seen such a thing? We draw an island. Play an island. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent blocks. Takes 2, goes to 4. I mean, do we need to show them Walking Ballista? I guess this is technically a better play. We'll play Kira. Pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat, attacks with Thundermaw, decides against it. If they're holding 2 bolts, attacking is the thing to do. But they do not. They play Warboss, so they are not holding 2 bolts. So, flash Brazen Borrower. Untap. We draw a land. And you know what? That does it. There's no more thought that has to go into this. We just ping our opponent to death. Nice. Okay, so versus a very aggressive deck. Do we make any changes? Yes. I actually think Augur is going to be good here, and so is Fire Prophecy. What are we going to cut for an aggressive deck? I think we actually cut Solemn Simulacrum. And do we have any heavier spells that are not good versus a mono-red aggro deck? I'm going to argue Shark Typhoon, then we'll run it back. So we got pretty lucky there. We had a very aggressive start. We're gonna pray that we continue to get very aggressive starts. Alright, it's not amazing, but we will keep. Opponent starts Mountain, Goblin Guide. Gets in with Goblin Guide. Terramander on top. That is an excellent turn 1 draw. So we untap, we draw a Terramander, we play an island, and a Terramander. This also means that Goblin Guide is not going to draw us too many cards that we have to start discarding cards. We should be able to keep up, which is excellent news. Okay, opponent plays a Mountain. Chain Lightning's Terramander. They had enough of him. Gets in for 2. We show Torrential Gearhulk. Torrential Gearhulk not going to be super useful here. So play a Mountain. Pass the turn. I think we are going to yeet, as the kids say, Goblin Guide back into our opponent's hand. Opponent plays a Plains. They probably have some of the aggressive red-white burn spells, i.e. Lightning Helix. I don't know why it took me so long to remember a card that I saw not 20 seconds ago. Replays Goblin Guide, we untap. We draw Bone Crusher Giant, play a Mountain, pass the turn. So I think we use Bone Crusher Giant's shock mode because our opponent does have X1s, which Electrolyze is very good at killing. So our opponent goes attacking. We reveal Incinerate. Well, we're trying real hard to draw land. Stomp the Goblin. Opponent plays Thunderbreak Regent. Well, we draw Incinerate. We are going to bolt ourselves, but a 4/4 flyer is not something we can afford to take a hit from. Luckily, we did keep in some 4 damage burn spells. I would really like a land, please. Goblin Guide had the opportunity to draw us 4 different cards, and none of them were lands. Okay, opponent plays a land, we untap, draw a land. So let's just play Ballista on 2, shall we? So now it's cool because we have instants to cast, and if our opponent does nothing of consequence, we can just start making Ballista bigger. Is this a 6 mana play? Flame Tongue Kavu. Okay, well, luckily, Ballista was trained in the art of killing Flame Tongue Kavus. So, shoot down Flame Tongue Kavu. Opponent plays a Falconwrath Gorger. We untap and draw Mountain. So play a Mountain, ping our opponent, ping Falconwrath Gorger, and then we'll leave up Incinerate for a turn. Cloudskate is fairly decent here. If we draw another island, we can play a Torrential Gearhulk. It seems that we're drawing too many red lands, so we might need to go 11 and 5 instead of 10 and 6. Okay, untap. We draw an island. So we can Gearhulk for Electrolyze. But let's suspend Cloudskate. Cast Bone Crusher Giant. Pass the turn. I think this is the most effective use of our mana on an off turn for our opponent. So our opponent has gotten very, very flooded. And when Mono Red starts using burn spells to kill your threats instead of your face, that's how you know you're winning. Okay. Cloudskate, going to be coming down in a few turns here. Probably just put this here so it's not blocked for those of you that want to read the log. Now that you can, because it's in 1080p. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and pass. Opponent plays an Anax, Harden in the Forge. I think we will incinerate Anax. Okay. And then we flash our 3/1 flyer. Okay. Untap, draw an island, play an island, go to combat, attack our opponent for 3. Opponent has a lightning bolt. Okay. Like I said, glad that's happening on a creature and not our face. Okay, opponent's going to attack for 1. We're going to let him. Go to 12. So, I think we're just going to Gear Hulk a burn spell and get in for massive damage. Because Riftwing Cloudskate coming off the suspend is going to answer this token. And by burn spell, I mean incinerate. Maybe we should do electrolyze. Yeah, let's draw an extra card with electrolyze. Why not? A real man would do the math. However, I am not a real man. I am a fake internet person. Just kidding. I mean, which is like, I'm one of the reasons that I get away with this for so long is I censor myself a little bit because I swear a lot more than I do I swear a lot more in real life than I do on my videos, but that's just a personal choice. But what you see is what you get on the tin. What you see on the tin is what you get. That's what I'm trying to say. Play an island, go to combat, attack for 7. Take our opponent to 8. We'll play a Murmuring Mystic. And with my luck, my opponent will cast an Obliterate. But I think we got him. Alright. I will see you guys in round 2. Alrighty, round 2. Here we go. Well, this looks like a good hand. We'll keep. Opponent starts Land Dork. Well, there's only one thing left to do here, and it's to make that dork wish he'd never existed. There's no kill like overkill. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a new dork. Stop the dork. Pass the turn. We're on the other side of the last league we played. Oh man. Opponent plays Rishadenport. Or Rishadenport. I actually don't know how to pronounce this card, so. Opponent taps our red source. We draw Fire and Ice. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Courser of Krufix. A Findhorn Elves on top of their deck. So this is an excellent card to mind control. It's also one of our only answers to that card. We're going to save Fire, because I sense more dorks in our future. Okay. I think the play here is to play Murmuring Mystic, because he can chump block anything forever. Or, I mean, he can profitably block dorks and also Stonewall Courser of Krufix, unless my opponent has, like, a giant growth, of which I don't even think there are any in the cube. So top of my opponent's deck is a Bayou. They play the Bayou. They play Findhorn Elves, presumably. They do. And pass the turn. We untap. Cast Fire. Kill Findhorn Elves. Hit our opponent for 1. Get a bird. We draw. Shark Typhoon. Which is effectively just a think twice at this point. Okay, no attacks. Pass the turn. Oh gosh. That is an Avenger of Zendikar. And our opponent has almost enough mana to cast an Avenger of Zendikar. So I think we have to save mind control for that. I think we're just going to make a 2/2 and draw an extra card here, hoping to hit like another mountain. Okay, Daze. There's a mountain. Play a mountain. Go to combat. And get in for 1. Now if my opponent... if my opponent plays a land, casts a Venture, it's going to get dazed. I don't know if you've ever dazed a 7-drop in your life, but it's an amazing feeling. Opponent plays Gaia's Cradle. Sure. Man, could you imagine if that resolved? How much mana our opponent would have? Jeez. This is not a nice thing to be doing. Opponent also does not currently have red mana for Xenagos. We untap, draw Mull Drifter, play an island, Mortar the Courser. Kind of sounds like murder. Cast a Bone Crusher Giant, and start getting in for lots of damage. If our opponent plays a particularly large singular threat, we're just going to mind control it. And if they don't, we're just going to beat them down. Alright, game's over. Oh, dazing a 7-drop. That is disgusting. So, due to our opponent's abundance of dorks, I definitely think Fire Prophecy is the way to go here. As well as Engineered Explosives. Because, like, if our opponent plays, like, a 1-drop on turn 1 and 2 1-drops on turn 2, and we have Engineered Explosives, it's over. Game's over. We can go home. So, Negate, also probably good here. I wish we had Remove Soul, like, really badly. Supreme Will might be good. We need to cut 1 card, though. And I think we're going to cut Sad Robot. I love me some Sad Robot, but I think he's less useful than Fire Prophecy in this game. Alright, we have Daze, we have Flame Slash. Let's keep. Okay. Opponent plays a Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves goes to the afterlife. Opponent plays a mountain. We play an island. We'll hold up Daze. We can actually just hardcast Daze. Now we have 2 mind controls. Ooh, opponent is choked on mana. The only way that this hand would be better is if we had a clock to actually put our opponent under right now. Oh gosh, I am sorry, opponent. But this is why you always bolt the bird. I'm just gonna hardcast Cloudscape. No, you know what? That's wrong. We'll suspend it. This lets us hold up Daze and psych our opponent out by saying we might have a mana leak. No. Man, Daze punishes being mana screwed so hard. Play another mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Goblin Guide. Sure. Opponent draws us a land. We draw Mana Leak. Play Sower. Take Goblin Guide. I actually don't think we attack with it either. Like, not until our opponent starts playing lands. No. You know, I'd rather like to keep that Sower. Opponent has had enough and scoops it up. Okay, I'll see you guys in round 3. Oh, 1 sec. Gotta take a break and let the dog out. Alrighty, welcome back to round 3. Alright, this is a fairly decent hand. No 1-drop, but we only have 2. Our opponent, Lord of Dice, had a poor roll of the dice and mulligans. Opponent plays a swamp and thought seizes us. Well, they can take whatever they'd like. They take Walking Ballista. We untap, we draw Torrential Gearhulk, play an island, and pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp and a bob. That is a tempting phantasmal image, let me tell you. Unfortunately, I don't think we can let our opponent have a single draw step off of bob. It feels kind of bad not being able to suspend Cloudscape there, but opponent missing a land drop is fairly good for us. So, suspend Cloudscape, pass the turn. Opponent missed another land drop. Okay. We draw an island, play an island, play Murmuring Mystic, pass the turn. Okay, Cloudscape ticking down yet again. We draw a mountain. So go to combat, we'll get in for 1. Opponent has go for the throat. Okay, that's fine. Kind of tempted to just Cloudscape, bounce a land, Phantasmal Image, Cloudscape. That is, provided our opponent doesn't immediately have removal for Cloudscape. Oh, they played a land. Okay. Cloudscape coming off suspend. Okay, bounce a land. We draw an island. We'll play an island. Might as well. It's Phantasmal Image, Cloudscape. And our opponent concedes from the game. Missing several land drops into double boomerang land. I understand. No rhyme intended. So let's see. Versus what our opponent is doing. They seem to just be mono black. Probably mid-range or aggro if they have Bob. Negate might be useful here. I don't know for certain though. I think we're set up optimally based on whatever information we have at this time. Though I'm not 100% certain. I wish this hand had, like, lands in it. We'll go down to 6. This looks good. And we're going to keep and put back Shark Typhoon. Opponent mulligan to 6 as well. We draw another island, so play an island. Pass the turn. Oh, opponent is Rakdos. And they have a Bob. Okay. We draw Izzet Charm. Sorry, Confidant. You are the biggest lightning rod I've ever met. Pass the turn, opponent untaps. Is our opponent going to miss another land? Okay. I was worried this might be like another non-game of Magic. And I was going to feel really, really bad. Okay, we're going to play Kira. Opponent has to have 2 removal spells to answer any creatures we have from now on. Okay. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain up to 4 mana. And they pass. We draw a Cloudskate. So go ahead and suspend Cloudskate. Get in for 2. Opponent goes to 17. Pass turn, leave up Remand. We'll get to full price a Muldrifter next turn, which is some pretty excellent value. Opponent plays Volcanic Island. They're Grixis? Opponent has a Delver of Secrets. That might be worth remanding. Actually. Yeah, they don't have another blue mana, so I'm going to do it. We get a Walking Ballista. Okay, we untap. Cloudscape ticks down. We draw Terramander. So Terramander's ability currently costs 6. We could play Terramander, and if we draw a land, we can make it huge. But I think the play here is just to cast Muldrifter. I want to cast Muldrifter while our opponent does not have access to blue mana, and it's not likely they had Daze. Okay, Control Magic is pretty good. Attack with Kira. So if our opponent expends their turn casting Delver again, we're just going to play Walking Ballista and shoot him down. Okay, opponent plays Delver of Secrets. Okay, we untap. Cloudscape ticks down again. We draw Flame Slash. I think we save Flame Slash for something bigger. So play Walking Ballista. Pew pew. Okay. Attack our opponent for 4. Hit them to 11. Pass the turn. Opponent's going to Murderous Cut Kira. Gets countered. So I expect our opponent has a second removal spell and didn't just not read Kira. That'd be tragic. Okay, so they have Kolagon's command to pick up Delver of Secrets and kill Kira. Okay. So that was like a 1.5 for 1. Not bad. Okay, we untap. Cloudscape coming off suspend. Okay, we're going to bounce Volcanic Island, so our opponent does not have access to 2 blue mana. We draw Brazen Borrower. Okay, I think we just play Terramander. Go to combat. And yeah, we'll just hit him for 7. We could take them down to 1, but if we untap, we win. If we untap with Ballista, we outright win. Opponent needs like a Damnation here to survive. Okay, they play Delver. What's happening here? Opponent scoops it up, bringing our first 3-0 of this iteration of Legacy Cube. Quite unexpected and enjoyed. As a reward for everybody for sticking around for this long, let's go ahead and open up this treasure chest and see what we get. 10 play points and a Drawn from Dreams. Nice. The fixed dig through time. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed this iteration of Legacy Cube as much as I did. I know we had a little bit of a sketchy time draft in a deck today, but I'm glad we made it work. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Legacy Cube has been very popular on my channel, so I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like, you know, drop a comment, tell me what you liked about this deck, what I could have done differently. I'll respond. And if you feel so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything and supports me a lot. It makes me feel good about myself. And you can also follow me on Twitch if you'd like to catch me when I stream live. Same username there as you can find me here. I appreciate you all. You're all wonderful human beings, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!